welcome to 10 facts about us. Okay, we're going to start off with number 1. Okay, so number 1 is my first ever proper job that I had was working at Yardley's, which was in Basildon. It's no longer there anymore. It's a shopping centre now, isn't it?
It's a shopping centre now, yeah.
Yeah, a shopping centre now. But I worked in a department called DME, which was something like dimethylene something or other, I can't remember now, it's too far back. But basically it was making perfumes. So I learnt how to put the little spray bits on the top, which were called actuators.
Actuators.
How can I still remember that after all this time? But anyway, yeah, they were actuators. And I became ambidextrous, meaning I had to use 2 hands at the same time to keep up with the belts. You used to have belts coming along, perfumes would be lined up and they'd go, and you'd be going,
how's it go?
So yes, that was my first job, and I was there for about 8 years, I think. I started on the factory floor and worked my way up to work in the offices, which is kind of what I do now, working in an office.
Fact 2.
Okay, fact 2 is something about me with my first job, and that was that I was an air steward. I only done it for 6 months.
Trolley dolly?
Wasn't it a trolley dolly? Air steward, get it right.
Air
steward. And it's hard work. Until you've done it, you'd never believe it. My training, I had to jump down the slide out the side of the aeroplane, which was quite fun if you've never done it, and to put out fires in the back of a plane.
And we picked, sorry, can I just say we picked the only time that it starts to rain, but hey.
Something a bit different anyway. Yeah. But when I had my first lot of training, when I was on the plane, they put crisps inside my, what was it? My air...
Life vest.
Life vest, that's it.
Life jacket.
Can't think of it. Inside my life vest, and as I opened it up, all the crisps went everywhere and to everybody on the plane, which was funny.
Did you have to stand there and do your doors to your rear?
I did. I had to do that too.
How did you do it? Do you want to show me?
Doors to the front, doors to the rear, and doors to the side. But you had to go like that, as if you were going around the corner, but it's not. But we also done quite a few stayovers as well, which was over in France when we done the short stops, which was quite good. I was only 21 at the time, 21 at the time, so it wasn't that long ago though, was it? Let's be honest. I found 35 15 years ago, but
I'm only 25, so...
Excuse me. Anyway, it was great fun, and that was one of the things I loved about my first job.
Fact 3.
Okay, fact 3 is I was working, well, still am working for a car rental company, and then somebody else joined us.
And he hated me.
I didn't hate you.
You did hate me.
I just thought you were coming to take my job, but she wasn't. Because I was leading my way through and I thought, oh, here we go, somebody else has brought us in and then she's going to take over. But actually she didn't, the opposite, she just wanted to come to work every day and just to go home. So she didn't want my job at all. But
no, and then we had a mutual, because I'd been living in Portsmouth and I'd come back down, and I sort of like, my friends had been getting married and having babies. And I liked to go to the pictures and theme parks and all things like that.
And it's something I enjoyed doing too. I just couldn't find a person to do it with.
We had that in common. So through that, we started going to theme parks and cinemas, and our friendship grew. And you couldn't live without me, could you?
No, I couldn't resist. Of course. Anyway. But yeah, that's how we've ended up together, basically, through work.
Fact 4.
Well, fact 4 is the proposal.
Ah, the proposal.
While I was still living at home, basically I set up everything while somebody was getting ready upstairs, because it was actually New Year's Eve.
And I thought we were going out. He was tricking me. It was really nice actually. He'd made it all romantic. His mum and his sister were in on the act, bless them. There was
tea lights.
Candles. And it was all, you'd made like a little runway, hadn't you? So that's your air steward coming out on you again, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that.
Yeah, he'd made a little runway for me to go out into the garden, and then he'd put fairy lights out on the decking, and it was really lovely and it was very romantic.
But when I did ask, what did Terry say?
But I was only joking. I said no.
It's a good
And he was
joke.
like, what?
Really.
And I was like,
I was shocked
I'm
when
only
she said no.
playing.
But that was a proposal in 2009.
God, really? That long ago?
Yeah, what are we in now? 2016. I've known you for 7 years. I've known you for longer. Yeah, engaged 7 years ago. So that was.
Fact 5.
Fact number 5. Fact number 5 is when Dean moved in with me. He left his home in Chelmsford with his mum and come and lived with me. It was in October.
And what year though?
No, I'm not going to have the top of my box.
But it was October time.
But it was October time.
So it was a scare feast, really.
Yeah, one of our favourite times of the year as well. And yeah, we lived with each other a few months, and something just
wasn't right. There was something
Something was missing. We can't have children. Well, I can't have children.
Neither can I.
How do you know?
I can't have children either, can I?
Well, not now you've married me. No, because you knew that. But that's something that we discussed, and that's for another tale. But yeah, something was missing. We didn't know what at the time, and then we had a long discussion about it, and realised we were missing something with 4 paws. Now, I wanted a woo-woo, which, if you don't know me, a woo-woo is a dog. I love dogs. I love all animals, but I really want a woo-woo. But unfortunately, because we work full-time, at the moment it wouldn't be fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. So, until our circumstances change, or I'm in a job where I can do a few hours or whatever, yeah, it wasn't practical. So we went for a kitten, and her name is Chloe. And we call her Chloe Moo Moo. A, because she's black and white and looks like a Frisian cow.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be happy with that compliment,
Yeah.
but she does. And the second thing is she is a little moo. I was working in retail just after we got together, because our company didn't agree with marriages within the firm, so I had to change my job if we wanted to get married.
Yeah.
So I went into retail, and I was one of those people that pick your vegetables of a weekend. And so I used to get up for work at 4 o'clock. Well, because we had Chloe from very young,
early age,
she got into the habit of waking up at 4 o'clock with me. Which is all well and good at the time, but now I don't do that job anymore.
Fact 6.
Okay, fact 6 was we had a winter wedding. Everyone thought we was a bit mad, but because it was Christmas themed as well, so we decided.
Was it Christmas themed?
Well, in a way.
It was winter themed.
Well, winter, but it was close to Christmas.
Yeah, it was close to Christmas, November.
But it was crisp November.
And it was a crisp November morning, and the sun was out, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Couldn't have asked for a better day. Couldn't have asked, especially in November when you think all we were going to do was just rain all day and be cloudy, but it didn't. It done the opposite. Total opposite.
One of the best days of my life.
Our lives.
Fact number 7.
Fact 7.
First holiday together. Our first holiday together was our honeymoon, and it wasn't abroad, which I think when we talked initially we said it was going to be a week in Spain somewhere, our first holiday, but didn't actually plan out that way.
Wedding and putting things together, we couldn't afford to do that, so we decided to go a different. Well, I surprised somebody actually.
I didn't have a clue. I've never ever been before.
I'd been to Centre Parks a couple of times, and I surprised Terry by taking it to Elvedon Forest.
And I love it.
And it's the most amazing place ever.
It's become like our second. Like when you pull into the car park, I always say to them, "We're home." We've
got a couple of homes now, though.
Yeah, we have got a couple of homes now, but it's just because they make it so magical. It was like Christmassy. They'd put fake snow everywhere. if you haven't been, you just need to go to experience it in
Just
November,
before Christmas.
December time.
You don't have to
It's
do it
lovely.
in December time. You could do it last week of November, or 2 weeks before November, and you can still get the
And
same
you
effect.
still get the
It's
same
great.
effect and feeling, and they've got Father Christmas there, and I think
Father
one year
Christmas
we've actually visited Father Christmas.
Yeah,
in
we
actual
did last
fact,
year.
In actual fact, we're thinking maybe we'll do it this year because we're going to take Mum and Dad away with
And
us
your
this
sister.
way, and my sister. So yes, that was our first holiday.
Fact 8.
Fact 8. I wore glasses for numerous amount of years. Unfortunately, no, I'm not wearing them now. Unfortunately, it got to a stage, I think it's about 2 years ago now.
3 years now.
Is it 3?
2.5 to
Really?
3 years, I'm sure it is, yeah.
I started having trouble with my vision, and my eyesight was deteriorating rapidly. And if I went with the NHS, I would have been on a waiting list for about 2 years, wasn't it?
If not longer.
And I could have been blind by then. So basically I thought, okay, we'll go private. And I expected it just to be laser surgery, but it wasn't. I won't go into details because it wasn't very nice, but considering I'm the biggest wimp going, I think I did extremely well.
You had to go a couple of times though because your blood pressure was too high, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
The
did
first minute
suffer.
you walked into that office.
I did suffer with my blood pressure. I have something called white coat syndrome.
Right, so our blood pressure basically had to be a certain level, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because if it was too high, she can have it done, and if it was too low, that couldn't be done either. It had to just be normal, but it's quite hard to be normal.
When
if
you
know-
me!
When you know you're going to have eye surgery, it's
And you're awake.
it's one of those things. It's
I won't go into graphic detail because it was horrible, but basically because we went private and we're not made of money, the only one that we could really afford at that time was to have, I've got one eye, I'm bionic, I have one eye that does long distance and one eye that does close up, and somewhere in between they focus, or not sometimes.
the various.
It's a lot better than what it used to be, and
Yes,
still
it's
able
never
to
done really.
drive, still can work a computer, just can't really work computers for very long and that without before I get really tired and stuff. But on the whole, it was the best thing I ever did, but I couldn't have done it without Dean holding my hand all the way.
Brownie points.
Fact 9.
Fact 9 about us. Terry decided that she was going to surprise me with Florida this year just gone, and she kept it quiet for
About 2 months, which is really good for me because I'm absolutely pants at keeping secrets.
but
Actually, we
eventually
both are.
it come out. I was completely shocked. Never been to America before in my life. Terry did when she was younger, but it was a long time ago, but never done theme parks or anything like that.
No.
But couldn't believe it, to be honest. Absolutely couldn't believe it.
And then we became hooked, and it's not going to be our last time either. We've already made that decision.
No.
Not sure when, but it's the first of many, I'm sure. And you'll be coming along with us too.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully in a couple of years' time.
Fact 10.
Okay, fact number 10.
why did we set up this YouTube channel? Why indeed? That's a good question, really. I think what it was when I eventually told Dean that we were going to Florida. We wanted, because we've never been before, we wanted to know more about it, so we turned to YouTube.
And lo and behold.
And then we became addicted, and it was the likes of Mark and Jem, Get Binky, Living the Dream. They all sort of spurred us on to think, yeah, do you know what, we want to have a go with that, that looks fun. And we're glad that we did, because we've hashtag made some amazing friends through doing this. We get to talk to you guys on a regular basis.
We get to watch your guys, films and videos and vlogs that you're all doing. So
And it's become a way of life now, and it's an enjoyable hobby. Get to meet some great people. We've made some great friends, as I've said, and
great memories as well, though.
memories along the way. Memories that
Are there forever.
there forever. At a touch of a button, we can turn around and then relive them all. So thank you for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed our little vlog. If you have, we hope it has. If you have, please give us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Please subscribe. Costs nothing. It's free. And
Let's go.
free. And you get to see more of us and what we get up to. Okay. So thank you for watching. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.